And we welcome you back to the second segment of the Shakeback Sports Show right here on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. That handsome fella to my right, I guess it would be to your left on the screen, Marshawn Powers is joined the show once again. What's going on, man?
What's up, Willie, man? Ready to talk. Ready to
Hey,
talk. One of my favorite sports. One of two of my favorite sports.
all right, we're gonna do just that. As some news came out earlier today that I want us to talk about. And we're not gonna bash the individual that's being discussed, but we're gonna talk about the hypocrisy of the NFL in terms
Mm-hmm.
of why this took place. So before we move any further, we got to pay the bills, man. This second segment is being brought to you by Zoomio. Actually, no, you know what? Who is being brought to you by? It's being brought to you by nope. It's gonna be Zoomio. If you deal with chronic inflammation, allergies, high glucose, lack of energy, and a growing list of health issues, it's time for you to get serious about enhancing the quality of your life with quality premium products from Zoomio. Don't confuse this with vitamin water because this water is hydrogenated with powerful antioxidants to help reduce inflammation and so much more at a cellular level. So it is high time to protect and improve your quality by placing your order today by calling 214 505 9951. That's 214 505 9951. Tell them your boy, Willie Epting Jr. from the Shakeback Sports Show, told you to holler at him so y'all can set it off on getting your health straight. All right, just in case you missed it in the first segment, we are, Marshawn is kind of pulling for Mayhem for the college football playoff, but we did give our, what we thought is going to be the top four after championship week. So make sure you guys go back and check that out. We're going to get into some Antonio Brown, Marshawn, because word came out today that the league completed their investigation on his COVID vaccination status and determined that he will be suspended for 3 games. Now he's already out, of course, nursing an ankle injury. He was going to be out probably for the next 2 games anyway. I don't know if they run concurrent or if he, I'm guessing since he would have been eligible because of the injury, it would still apply. But nevertheless, that's not what this is about. Yeah, okay, so he supposedly did not be truthful about his vaccination status, but he got a 3-game suspension. And when they get suspended, they don't get paid. There's another guy. You might know him. His name is Aaron Rodgers. And a lot of people are saying that he is going to be the MVP or he's their choice for MVP at this point. Um, just what 2-3 weeks ago, Aaron Rodgers tested positive for COVID-19 and only was to be found out that he did not he was not completely truthful with the wording that he used in terms of his vaccination status. He said he was immunized. So because Aaron Rodgers used the word immunized and Antonio Brown allegedly had this incorrect or false vaccination card, he games, but Aaron Rodgers gets a $14,000 fine, and that's it. Marshawn, explain.
Um, basically, I think this comes down to the golden childs of the NFL, in my opinion. At the time, Aaron Rodgers got fined less than CeeDee Lamb and got so he got fined way less than CeeDee Lamb for CD not having his jersey took. I think that's ludicrous. I think you know what AB allegedly did. Hey, I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not gonna sit here and crucify the man because I feel like the NFL has already got it out for AB. When it
Mm.
comes to his previous whatever he had going on. But it's funny that they always bring up his character issues. Anytime AB does something, they talk about, oh, AB. You got reporters talking about how he, came in on a hot air balloon to training camp, and the situation that happened between him and Mayock in Vegas, things of that nature. Like that has nothing to do with with what's going on right now at hand. I think, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, the NFL should have maybe fined AB if that's the case, but taking almost $500,000 from a man, for something that in my opinion, ain't really that bad. I think that's nuts, man. I think that, I think that when you make a bad rap with the NFL, anything and everything that you do beyond that is just gonna become the punishment. They're gonna punish you for things that you did in the past that they never got a chance to punish you. It's like that parent, when you get mad at your kid for, it just builds up and builds up and builds up, and then they just lash out on you. I
Right.
think that's what happened at this point. 3 games, I think it was unnecessary.
Well, I'm not gonna really argue about the amount of games. I'm arguing the fact that it's any games at all. Because if this alleged incident is, said to be true, okay, we understand that there's a consequence behind every action and therefore every reaction. But I don't feel like this punishment fits this crime when you had a very similar crime that was committed and that person only got a misdemeanor. I mean, these 3 games is like a felony.
Yeah.
And a $14,000 fine and missing no games is like a misdemeanor. When essentially the outcome, the probable outcome of people getting sick and their family members getting sick and potentially dying, that could have resulted from both players' actions or alleged actions or what they said they did or what they said they didn't do. So how in the world is it that can the NFL look at it from the standpoint of, okay, this dude said this and this dude he said this dude allegedly did this, but the two things that what they did could have resulted in the same thing. But this person
exactly. In the end of it, it looks at it like this. All right, let's play devil's advocate and let's say, that the card was allegedly fake or whatever. Okay. Okay. We're gonna treat AB as if he's unvaccinated. He's putting his players at risk the same way as Aaron Rodgers putting at risk. I mean, I feel like if you're gonna fine Aaron Rodgers $14,000, should have fined AB $14,000. It shouldn't have been no, I'm gonna fine you $14,000 and then no, I'm gonna take 3 games away from you just because you have a fake card. I'll give it to you like this: having a fake card is better than having no card and saying that you're immunized.
Exactly. If
my opinion, we being honest.
Yeah.
Honest.
If you break it down to the letter of it, yeah, absolutely. So I want to say this, and AB, I know you got a lot on your plate and all those great things, dealing with the injury. Look, man, you got some supporters here at the Shakeback Media Group when it comes to this issue and in terms of how the NFL did you, because that is just totally unfair for what they did. And I hope that there is a way that you can actually see this, view this, read this, hear this, kick it with this, and understand that, man, our words of encouragement are just for that, because it's just completely not fair. Say what you will about AB, whether you're a fan of his or not. Say what you will about AB in terms of whether you are a fan of his character or not. This ain't what this is about.
Yeah.
This is about the hypocrisy of a conglomerate that is really having to be able to pull all the puppet strings and do something for one person and do the complete opposite for another person, when their actions could have, number one, resulted in the same thing, and number two, they're in the same family. They may not be brothers, but the actions were definitely cousins. So
absolutely, it wasn't first cousins, it was second cousins. I say this, and I know we got to move on. Only thing I can ever say I didn't like about AB is he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's the only thing I can say I don't like about the man, is he played for the Steelers and he kicked my punter in the face. Outside of that, I always felt like, man, he was actually one of my favorite, receivers. And I always say one of his sayings is what, call God. So I think, man, this is gonna be bridge under the water to him. If I'm not mistaken, he come back in week 16, so that'll give you 2 games left. He's already going through an injury, so he wasn't playing already. So if anything, this gives AB more time to get healthy. He's losing money, which nobody want to lose them coins, man. But it sucks that they're taking so much money from him. But at the end of the day, they're going to the playoffs, so them bonuses gonna come back. So he'll make that money back pretty soon. So no, just get. Only thing I can say from this is speedy recovery, come back soon, and be ready to dominate for the playoffs.
Yeah, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be in prime position to get that crown and be the first team to repeat a Super Bowl champion since the Patriots did it back in 2000 and early 2000s. All right, so let's move on, man. We got a couple other things that we need to get to. I want to ask you, is Cleveland rocking or is Cleveland getting rocked? And I'm talking about the Browns. And what is the state of mind in Northeast Ohio?
I'm gonna do it quickly. So, two things. One, I feel like Cleveland, and I finally came to my realization today. Cleveland is an overreaction city. You know, right now the Browns are on a bye week. There's really nothing to talk about. There's really nothing to panic about because, you know, the Baltimore game is here and gone. But ever since the Cavs are, you know, really good right now, everybody's tend to flip the switch and not really worry about what's going on with the Browns right now. But I'll say this: Andrew Berry had a press conference, which he only talks like maybe 3 times out of the whole football year, and not including training camp. But he pretty much said that he expects this team to come out, you know, and dominate and be a different offensive team, and you know, and be able to execute on offense. So at the end of the day, I'm taking kind of a mental break on the Browns since they so stressful. I said yesterday on Her in the Huddle, or the other day on Her in the Huddle, not yesterday. I'm sorry, but I said the other day on Her in the Huddle that I expect the Browns to figure out what kinks that need to be made on offense and keep it going. I think I seen the potential of the defense against the Ravens on last Sunday. So if they can, you know, get the kinks on the offense and get this train rolling, you need 11 wins to get into the playoffs. Now you're at 6-6. I'll expect them to go on the 5-0 run and get this thing done. You know, whether it's Baker at quarterback or Case Keenum, but I don't want to hear no excuses coming out of Berea, Ohio.
Case Keenum, Baker Mayfield, Brian Sipe,
Tim Couch,
Tim Couch, Cody Kessler.
Mm-hmm. If somebody can ask me to name
I got another one. Johnny Manziel.
Oh my goodness. Oh, goodness.
But nah, man. Look, when the Browns come off the bye in week 13 and go against the Ravens for the second consecutive contest, not the second consecutive week, but the second consecutive contest, I think they're going to be firing all pistons, and we'll get to that part, I'm sure, next week when we're on Her in the Huddle with Rachel and anything that we talk about here on the Shake Bag Media Group. But I'm like this when it comes to the Browns. They're a lot like the Raiders. They are a narcotic, and they get you hooked. And when you're high, you're high. But when you're low, man, are you low? And that's what a narcotic.
Borderline depression.
And speaking of those said Raiders, man, do you think that do we trust that they have enough to get this right these last few weeks of the season based on what we've seen thus far? In spite of everything that the Raiders have gone through this year.
I think so, man. I think the thing about it, man, you guys got a good leader in Derek Carr. I think, you know, so much has happened to Derek Carr over his career that he's been battle tested a lot and he's overcome it. Whether people can agree with me or not, you know. I remember what was that 2012 when y'all played in Mexico City and he was like in prime position to win MVP and he broke his leg?
That was 2016, and that was
2016.
It was a home game against the Colts.
Yeah, I remember because y'all supposed to go like to Mexico City or something like that. And he was balling. He came back from that, had you guys still in prime position. You know, I think, you know, I mean, it sucks that he lost a good receiver with Henry Ruggs, a guy that could blow the top off. And then, you know, your tight end is hurt. You lose your head coach, the guy who's, you know, pretty much driving this engine. So with all that being said, he's overcome. Like I said, last week, I thought Dallas had their number. And he put Vegas on his back and got the win. So that showed me that he's more than capable to at least, especially winning this week against Washington, against maybe the Chargers. I think he has that mental fortitude to keep these guys at least at a 10-win game. Their floor is going to be at least 10-7 this year.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, Washington football team in week 12, week 13 at Arrowhead Stadium against the Chiefs. We're going to be looking to bounce back and get them back for that game. But the AFC West is very, very interesting. And I'm depending on the outcome of the Chiefs and the Broncos and the Raiders and the Washington football team and the Chargers, all those teams could be sitting with the same record. You think about that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
All those teams could be sitting with a very the same record or very, very similar records. And then you come in with the tiebreaker stuff and all that old stuff, man. And that's where it gets nerve-wracking for the fans, because you start looking at the schedule. Who did we beat, or who did they beat, or did we beat them, or did they beat us? I mean, how many conference wins do they have? What's their record within the all that old crazy stuff? Until it gets to the end where it will come down to possibly a coin flip. Okay. 2 minutes left to go in the segment. Who are your top 5 candidates as of week 11?
As of week 11, top 5 MVP candidates, no particular order. I'm gonna have to go with that bad man out of Indianapolis, Jonathan Taylor. I think he's balling out right now. I think if you don't name Derrick Henry, he would have to be the best running back playing right now. Number 4, I'm gonna go a little bit outside the box here. I'm gonna go with Myles Garrett. Here's why I say Myles Garrett. That guy's been consistent, man. That guy's been consistent. You know, he's in prime position to win, well, not win, but to break to the sack record.
All-time sack. Yeah.
I think the defense will be nothing without Myles Garrett. I mean, he at least is consistent. So I know that's a little homer pick, a little unorthodox. You know, I'm picking Myles Garrett. Number 3, no particular order, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, bad toe. Say what you want. Dude's been balling. Dude's been getting it done. Number 2, I got to keep him. Hey, man, they say it's 3 people you can never go against: God, LeBron James, and the Thomas Edward something Brady. So definitely Tom Brady. Got to put him up there. And number 1, I might be forgetting somebody. I know this is going to sound crazy. You're going to laugh at this one. Bill Belichick. If only some way that Bill Belichick can win the MVP. No, I'm just joking.
That's why they call it the Coach of the Year award. I think you had Kyler Murray at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really don't know who I could put in that 5th spot. It was Matt Ryan. Matt fell off.
Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford. I'm sorry. Yeah. Matt Stafford fell off. I'm going to go with for that 5th. I'm gonna go with Lamar. I know I said Lamar kind of fell off, but I mean have a terrible game against the Browns last week and still some way somehow come away with the win. I'm gonna go with Lamar. I think Lamar he jumped back in my MVP race.
All right, man. That's gonna wrap it up for the second segment. That's Marshawn's Power 5 NFL version. Come on back to the other side of the break, man. Marshawn got to get out here. I appreciate you, man. Come on back to the other side of the break. We're going to get into some NBA. Willie Epting Jr. Shake Back Sports Show. Marshawn Powers, dopest engineer in the game. Big day. Y'all come on back and holler at us.